Sonora. So it was really interesting to be like raised from Mexico, in like a Mexican culture, but at the same time being raised from in the United States. I graduated from the University of Arizona. I study business administration, so it's like business management. And I'm currently working right now in Amazon. So I'm a quality specialist. So I'm making sure that everything that goes out is in good condition for the customers, making sure that the workers there are doing the best quality work they can do. And I've been working there for almost 2 years after I
Great.
graduated. What else? But yeah, I learned. So it's good because I learned actually Spanish when I was like 9 years. I learned Spanish when I was born, and I learned English when I was like 9 years old. So it was really interesting to know Spanish my first 9 years, and then after the first 9 years, I started learning English. So I'm not sure what else I can say.
Well, actually, that's crazy because, well, you were born in the US and then, but you learned Spanish first, and well,
Yeah, so
great.
because my mom, well, she's Mexican, she's from Sonora, so she didn't want me to not learn Spanish because it's in my blood, being I'm part Mexican. So she wanted me to learn Spanish first, making sure I know how to read, write, and speak it. At least be able to communicate, like with her, with everyone. So I learned my first 9 years. We had the choice to either in the United States, like in the 2000s, the early 2000s, we had a choice to the parents had a choice to either learn English first or Spanish, or like to be in English only classes, or to be in classes that's only Spanish. So my mom actually put me in Spanish classes. So since when I was 5 years old up to I was 9 years old, so those 4 years I only was in Spanish classes. So I learned Spanish to read it, write it, and speak it. But then they changed the laws to that all the students need to be learning only English. So then they put me into only English classes, and the only words I knew were very simple words. So it's like pizza, yes, no, just very simple words. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really kind of difficult at first because I had no experience on speaking English or writing it or speaking it. So at 9 years old, I had to change my mentality to, okay, now I have to learn English. And by just doing that, it was just practicing, hearing music, watching TV in English. So it was just a different shift from Spanish to English when I was 9 years old.
Great. Okay, Hernan, I know you already answered some of the questions my students are going to ask you, but that's for them to keep practicing and, well, to get in touch with a speaker, English speaker. So let's start. Okay, probably that's. I know you already answered, but they must practice this one.
Yeah.
Okay, Isaac, you can start with your question.
Yeah. Hernan, Hernan.
Hernan.
Where are you from? Creo que de Sonora. Yes,
Yeah,
no?
all right.
So where I'm from? Yeah, I can answer. So I'm from Yuma, Arizona. So I'm from Yuma, Arizona. I was born there, but when I was 3 years old, I moved to Tucson, Arizona. It's a way bigger city. Yuma, Arizona is very small, but it's next to the border of San Luis, Sonora. So it's the border of Mexico and the United States. So it's very close by. It's like a 5-minute distance from where I was born to Sonora, Mexico. But I'm currently on Tucson, Arizona.
Great.
I was born and raised
here. Javier?
Hernan?
Hey.
Where are you Where are you connecting from?
Where are you connected from? Well, I know with this platform, you can connect from all over the world. So from now, at this point, at this moment, where are you connected from?
So
where are you at? Where are you at? That's it.
So currently in Tucson right now. I was living in Houston, Texas for a bit. Now I'm back to Tucson, Arizona, and I'm currently connected right now right here in the Zoom call with you guys.
Okay, great. Okay. I know this question will be repeated. Well, Diane.
On no worries.
Diane.
Hernan, how did you learn English?
So I learned English. So I'm gonna tell you how I learned English and how the best ways I was able to learn it. So at 9 years old, I was able to learn it. So I learned it at 9 years old. I had no experience. I never talked to. I never was able to talk to anyone before 9 years old in English. I was only using Spanish. So for me to be able to learn English at 9 years old was just being able to practice it. I think the I don't know, like when you're learning a language, you're very scared to speak it. So that's the first thing you need to do is just like don't be afraid. Just go ahead and speak it, even though you might not sound as good, but you'll get there. And the more you practice, the more the better your English is gonna get. I will say the best thing I can recommend is listen to a lot of music, sing along to the music by yourself in the car whenever you can, sing along if you can. See anything like English shows, movies, anything that can help you out. If you have like you guys are in a class, like you guys could like maybe when you guys hang out or like in the car or like messages, try to use a lot of English words or like English conversations. In that way, you guys can better like like express yourself and being able to better practice your English. Just practice, practice, practice was for me, and that's how I got to where I got to after being 9 years old and learning English and mastering English. Going a lot if you can, please.
Okay, great. Okay, Jesus.
Okay. Tell me about your education background.
Yeah. So my education background. So I graduated from the University of Arizona, and I wanted to study business management. And the reason why I wanted to study business management because before that I was working at JCPenney. So JCPenney is a retail store where they sell a lot of clothes, shoes, everything. So I was working at the shoe department. I really like the business aspect of selling and being able to connect with the customers. So that was one of the things that inspired me to study business administration was the focus around people. So I'm very relationship based with people. So business management is all about people. It's about connecting with them, building relationships, being able to administrate a team. So that I got really interested in doing business administration. So once I realized that that's the path I wanted to take, I went on to the University of Arizona, where I got my bachelor's degree in business management, which is basically business administration. So I went there, I got my degree, and then I was able to go to Houston, Texas to be a manager, a sales manager. And I got to be my own, a boss of 20 associates. So Macy's is also like another retail store where they sell clothes, shoes, jewelry, perfumes. So I was a sales manager for a year. And it was nice because I got to practice everything I learned in school, and I got to practice in real life. So it was really nice just to be in everything that I learned in school. I was able to apply it in real life situations. But now I'm working for Amazon. I'm a quality specialist. So I'm not directly working with the customer now, but I'm working indirectly. But at the same time, Amazon is all about the customer, making sure we're meeting needs and expectations. But yeah, my background comes from business administration, and I got inspired doing business administration because of the work I previously did working for JCPenney.
Do you remember this little sweater vomited?
Yeah.
No, I won't. I won't talk about that right now. Okay.
Sure.
Denise, go ahead.
Did you have troubles learning it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you have troubles learning English? Well, at the beginning when you were 9 years old?
Yes, I had a lot of trouble learning English because for 9 years, I was only speaking Spanish, only talking Spanish. So at 9 years old, when they changed the laws to you have to put your kids into an only English speaking environment, that at 9 years old was scary because all the kids that were in English classes already, all they knew was English. So I only knew a few words. I know very basic words. I know yes, no, because they were the easiest words. I know pizza because it was my favorite food. I knew water. It's just like very simple words, but I wasn't able to communicate at all. So it was really hard. It was really difficult at first. But what helped me a lot was that I was only surrounded by people who spoke English. So I needed to like learn and I needed to like practice it. So even though I didn't sound as good as I can, it was really hard. But like I said, what really helped me was being able to really like listen to a lot of music, movies, being able to hear it when people are speaking it, and being able to not be afraid, like, hey, like, what was that? Like, hey, like, I didn't understand that. Or hey, like, don't be afraid to say that. People should understand like you're barely learning English or your English might not be as good, but don't be afraid to be like, hey, can you repeat that one more time? Or just don't be afraid of it. Be able to practice it. That was my biggest thing. Just able to, even though I didn't sound as correctly or as good, but eventually you'll get to that point where you sound really good, and just by practicing, hearing it, speaking to yourself, and just being really, like really involved in the when people are speaking it. That's my biggest advice. Just speak it. Don't be afraid. Ask questions. If you didn't understand it, tell them to explain it again. That's pretty much how I got to at 9 years old being able to learn a different language, which was English.
English, okay. Thank you, Hernan. Okay, José Luis, can you jump to the other question? ¿Puedes brincar a la siguiente pregunta, please? Because we already know he works on Amazon. That was the next question. Okay, José Luis.
Ya lo había estudiado la otra. Bueno, ahí te va. Hi. What is the importance of the English in your life, home, and work?
Okay. So the importance of English in my life has been really important because English, honestly, has opened a lot of doors for me. One is work, and one is relationship, and one relationship wise, and the third thing is entertainment wise. So I'll go with the first one, which is opportunities, which is work. Being able to learn English, a second language, which is English, open a lot of doors because being bilingual, either in the United States as in Mexico, I know in Mexico is really important too, because if you know another language, you're more valuable. There's more work opportunities. And for me, it was the same thing. Being bilingual, I'm able to connect with more people. I live in Arizona, which is a lot of Hispanic people, a lot of people from Mexico. So we're very influenced in the Hispanic world. So I'm more able to, so in work opportunities, they'll hire someone who's bilingual, someone who knows Spanish and English, because you're able to communicate with more people. There's some people here that only know Spanish, and so I'm able to connect with them because I also know Spanish. But I'm only able to do that because I learned both languages, English and Spanish, and that opened the doors with me and someone who only knows English. So opportunity-wise is really important. Has been really important for me to know two languages and being able to master both of them. Second thing that's been really important learning a second language is relationships. Being a student, a college student, I was also able to connect with more people from different parts of the world. I was part of an international club that we had people from China, people from Europe, Russia, Brazil. And what the thing that we all had in common is that we all know English because it's such a universal language. It's the number one language that everyone speaks. So being able to know English, I was able to connect with people around the world. Without knowing English or without being able to speak it, I was never going to be able to connect with people with someone from China, someone from Brazil, someone from Russia. So being able to know English, I was able to connect with people that I would never been able to connect to if I was only knowing Spanish at that time. So work-wise, relationship-wise, I was able to connect with more people. And the third thing what has been super important is that knowing English, I have more options in entertainment. So more movies. I'm able to understand music, Now I can listen to different artists, being able to understand it. So it has been really important learning a new language, learning English, because it has opened the doors work wise, friendship wise, and entertainment wise. So I highly recommend learning English if you can, and I'm so like proud of you guys that you guys are trying to learn English. I'm not sure the mastery level where you guys at, but you guys are beginning, which is great. And it's just, trust me, there's so many benefits of learning English, and I'm happy you guys are here this morning with us, practicing your English and just getting better every time.
Yeah, that's why well, I see that that's why they're here for, because well, they are, because no well, not all the people connect their set themselves to the internet Saturday 7 in the morning every
Exactly.
Saturday. Well, that's a good point, a good start. Yes,
Definitely.
I see that. um okay, Isaac, can you go to the other question, the number 10, Isaac?
Yes, yes, yes. Hernan, from which countries do you have parents?
Partners, your colleagues, from where
Parents?
are they?
Okay, so for some colleagues from different parts of the countries,
Yes,
yeah,
the origin.
the origin. So yeah, definitely. I had colleagues and friends, partners, or you can say, but mostly I would consider them my friends. Yeah, I have friends from different parts of the world. One is from, I have a really good friend that's from China, from Tokyo, China, and I met this friend through in the University of Arizona actually, and he's one of my good friends, and I still talk to him once in a while. But it was really interesting because him in China, people don't really smile a lot. They are very serious, and they're very like, and as Mexican Americans, we're very happy. We're like very outgoing and very like talkative. And he's the opposite. He was very like shy, still very firm. And he told me one day like, "Hey, I really like your personality because in where I'm from in China, like we're very like we don't smile, we don't do none of that. And here's really different. Like you guys are like very talkative. You guys make people feel welcome." So it was very interesting to see how different cultures are very different, because in China they don't smile even when they're happy. They don't smile. They're just like very like still. Their face are very still. So that was very interesting to see where he was coming from China, and he mentioning how like we're very like more like happy, more like outgoing. We're more expressive with our feelings. So that was really interesting. I also have a friend in Brazil. It was Luis Angel's mentor, Edwin.
Edwin.
Edwin,
Good
he's from
friend.
Brazil. And what was really interesting in his part, he's also half Mexican and half Brazilian, because his mom is from Hermosillo, Sonora, and it was really interesting to see his background. And both of his parents were medical; they were doctors. And then I could see another friend from that was really interesting was from Russia, Sergey. Sergey was from Russia, and it's really interesting to see people from different parts of the world. And the interesting part is that we have so many things in common that you wouldn't realize without like building that relationship with them. And the only thing that's really like separates from is like we are from different cultures, but at the end of the day we have so many things in common. But the only way to figure that out was because we all knew that language was supposed to English. We're all able to communicate with each other because we all knew English. But yes.
How is she that with them, with Sergi and Edwin's recently?
Have I talked to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Edwin. Sergey, I haven't talked to in a while. Edwin, I have him like in social media, so I've seen what he's been up to, and I talked to him like once in a blue moon.
Yeah. I know. It happens. Okay, good to
Yeah.
know, bro. I didn't remember about Edwin just up to this point. Okay, who's next? Javier?
Next,
Or
Hernan. How English has helped to you to interaction with another people?
It is because, well, let's say about, I know that, for example, as you already mentioned, your friend from China, another religion, customs, thoughts, I don't know, how English has influenced you to think in another manner for you to not cross the line from, well, not respecting their religion, customs, or, well, I don't know.
Yeah. So let me think about this one a little bit. Mm, so what I found really interesting was so I had a friend in Asia. She was a girl. Her name was Tian. And what was really interesting about her that I found really really wow is that in her country, girls are not able to study or be able to learn more. So she went to the United States because she wanted to continue her education. In Asia, it was seen wrong to for girls to keep learning. They only wanted the girls to being able just to have kids, raise a family, and that's it. What was really interesting about her is that she didn't want that in her life. She wanted to pursue her career. She wanted to keep learning. She loved reading, but she wasn't able to do that because in Asia, where she was raised and born at, they see that as a taboo. Like, oh no, that's not what girls or women are supposed to do. You're supposed to raise a family, cook, clean. That's all you're supposed to do. And she didn't want that in her life. She wanted more, and she was out. She was able to have the opportunity to come to the United States and actually be able to, continue her education. I thought it was really interesting because we don't know how good we have it, and even in Mexico, like you guys have the opportunity to continue your education for women and girls. But in the United States, that's the same thing. We have the opportunity to continue our education if we wanted to or not. But in Asia, she didn't have that opportunity at all. It was seen as a taboo. So it was seen as like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have a family. And it was really interesting that she comes from that background. I thought it was really interesting, the cultures and the society. Most of all, that women or girls are not supposed to be able to they can pursue their education or they can pursue their career. They have a label for them just to be moms or just to be a family of raising kids and being able to cook for the husband. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much. Okay, thanks, bro. And well, who's next? Diane?
What are your hobbies?
I really love hiking. We have some of the best places to hike here in Arizona because either you can do it in the morning and you'll see the sunset, or you can do it in the afternoon and you'll see the sun coming down. It's just so beautiful. I have some pictures. I could share it to Luis Anke so he could show it to you guys next week.
Please.
That
would be great.
Hiking that I've taken, and that's one of my biggest hobbies is hiking. I just love hiking because it's so, I don't know, it's good exercise, but at the same time, it's really just nice to, once you get to the top, I sit down and I just take it all in. I take the whole view. And right here in Arizona, we have some of the best sunsets. So it's just really nice just to be able to like go hiking. I think that's one of my biggest hobbies is hiking. I do a lot of reading as well, but hiking is my favorite hobby that I have.
Okay, great. What's the recent book you are reading?
The recent book I'm reading is it's called Among the Hidden, which is it's actually about a different country that you're only supposed to have 2 kids, and this family actually has 4 kids, and if you have more than 2 kids, well, they would actually kill the kids if they find out they have more than 2, and it's just like really interesting because
it's like a movie. I don't know. Have you watched that movie on Netflix? Which, well, in Spanish is What Happened to Monday, I was saying.
Oh, so something like that?
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I recommend you that movie. I will send you the link.
What happened? Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, who's next? Jesus?
What motivates you?
What motivate? I'm sorry, what was that?
Motivate.
What motivate?
Yeah.
So what motivates me is my family. I think that's my biggest thing. So when I was studying the University of Arizona, they although I paid for some of my schooling, they were the one who were paying for more of my schooling. Luis Angel, are you guys still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, it's pitch black. That's what I was like.
Oh no, it's okay.
So my biggest motivation is my family. They pay for my schooling, and for me, I wanted to do more than just having a regular job or something because they were expecting more of me, and I was able to meet their expectations. So my motivation has always been my family, my parents, most of all, because they are. My mom is from Mexico, and she never got the opportunity to go to school, so she always wanted like, oh, if I was, like if I had the opportunity you guys had, I would have, like she wanted to do, I think it was journalism, which is like news wise and journaling, like events and everything. So that's one of was her dreams, but she never got the opportunity to study. So she wanted the opportunity for us to study and being able to have our career. So my motivation has always been in my parents, my mom, especially my dad, for working and being able to pay those bills of my schooling. So everything I always have in mind was always my parents because I always wanted to give back to them. That was my biggest motivation. But yeah, definitely my family is my motivation when I do anything career wise, work wise. Because I want to make them proud, I want to make myself proud, but I want to give back to them of everything that they given me.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing that. And Denise, just we're going to up to finish. And you're like
No,
a lot of questions. A lot of questions. No, it's okay. Denise, go ahead.
What are your plans for the future?
For my plans for the future, so I have a lot of plans. Like I recently, like with COVID, with the pandemic, I have a lot of time to think about things. But one of my biggest plans is, well, I have two plans. One, I want to get a house of my own. I want to get a house of my own. But my second plan, I want to do my own business. I think that's my biggest dream, is to have my own business here in Tucson. And how I'm gonna get there is by saving money. First of all, I need to save money, have a good credit. So right here, it's all about credit. So credit is basically they lend you money to do a business, but you need to be able to demonstrate that you're able to handle credit or a big line of money in order to do a business. So right now I'm working on that currently. I'm paying my bills, I'm paying my schoolings, I'm doing all that because once I'm done paying my bills from school and from my car, I'm able to ask for a loan, which is basically you're asking the government for money to do, like, let's say a business. So that's my biggest dream, is to do a business here in Tucson, Arizona. I still have like a lot of details of what I want to do, but my main plan for my future is definitely a business of my own.
Great, and I wish you the best, bro. You're going
Thank
to
you. Thank you. You can all come and visit.
Okay, I will buy you. If you you set a online store, I will.
Yeah.
You show me the link and what you sell.
Even if you have to come over here.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't have visa, so that's why I haven't gone there. I have a lot of cousins out there, but well, I haven't tried even.
Is your dad or no? I remember your dad was in Texas.
Yeah, he's still there. Still there in El Paso.
Another to come and visit.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to. That's promise.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Who's next? Isaac. Okay. Jose Luis. Sorry, Jose Luis.
Some tips to learn English.
What are some tips? Well, you already let us know, but
yeah. So some of the biggest tips I could reshare with you guys is definitely try to listen as much as you can, and speak it like within you guys. You guys have a group there, so when you guys see each other, like try to. I know you guys know it's so hard not to speak Spanish because you guys are so used to it. But you guys are there. You guys have a group there. I'm not sure if you guys see each other in person or not, but when you guys do or not, try to speak with each other in person, or pass your number to the other person, you know, like, and we can start messaging, only do English so you can practice writing it, you know, practice it within each other so you guys get comfortable. Have that, you know, like that's your guys' little bubble to be able to explore your English, being able to speak it, write it. So among you guys, start there. That's the best way to start. And just like speak, even though you guys all know Spanish. I know Spanish too, so but it's more beneficial for me to be speaking English to you guys, so you guys are able to, you know, like hear it, understand it, better practice it. So the more you guys know, in being able to practice among you guys each other, I think it's going to be so beneficial. And when you guys are by yourselves, when you guys watch a movie, put the subtitles. I know it's so hard to be looking at it and like watching the movie and then like reading the words. I hated it, but it works. And then music wise, try to listen to artists that you guys are interested in English. Sing along if you want. Just practice. Honestly, it's just all about practicing. And before you know it, you're gonna be so comfortable speaking it, and you're gonna be like mastering your English.
Yes, that worked for me. Well,
Yes, definitely.
Isaac. Oh no, who's next? Yes, Isaac.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
What do you recommend?
which are other recommendations that you give us? Well, for not just English, just for example, that you, well, your parents that were expecting more from you. What do you recommend to give that extra to become what you have reached at this point?
Definitely. I think you always have to have a motivation. I think someone asked about my motivation, what motivates me, and that's such a good question because whatever you do, if you don't have a motivation for it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do a good job of it. But when you have something in mind and you have a motivation, either yourself, you want to do better for yourself, for someone else, for your parents, just proving yourself better that you can do more. Always have that in mind, your motivation, or maybe your goal. Maybe your goal is to, I want to learn English because I want to do this. So having that motivation or having that thing in your mindset is gonna prove to you and you're gonna do better. But if you don't have a motivation, if you don't have something in your mind that you want to do, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get to that point. But I would suggest that think about that what motivates you and why you're doing it. I think the reason why, the word why, is so important because that's gonna be it's gonna be your fire. It's gonna be what carries you through whatever you want to learn or why you're doing this and why you're doing that. So think of the reason why you're doing it, and that's basically going to be your motivation of why you're doing it. But yeah, just think about the motivation and why you're doing it. That's the main point.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, actually, those other questions are like, oh well, doesn't have too much weight on this. Well, just well, what you? Well, who's next? Who's next? Let me. Sorry about that, bro. It is because you already answered some of the questions that we have over here. Great, you did well. Okay. Document extra. Javier, could you please ask the number 19?
Yes. Uh, where did you meet the teacher?
Luis Angel, or the so I met Luis Angel here in Tucson, Arizona. He was part of the Beckles program. So Beckles program is basically they got a scholarship.
Sorry, bro. We're running out of time. So could you please connect once again? It is because definitely. we have a limit time on this platform. Well, I don't know why. I must pay for it. Well, I won't pay for sure. But just could you please?
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys want, we could do another day. I can actually also connect a different day if you guys want.
No, just like 2 more questions and that's it. Just
yeah, definitely.
2 left. Okay, let me just connect once again.
Okay.
1 minute.